Hello mamas, I'm so excited for this video series that I've put together for you guys. This is going to be the first video that you guys will see, and today I just wanted to go over a few of my de-stressing techniques that I use in my life when I'm feeling stressed. So I thought I'd share my top 10 techniques with you guys, as this was the most highly requested vote. And I can see why. In a time like this, it's necessary. We need to de-stress ourselves and we need to stay calm even in those moments when we're feeling like you just can't do it. And I totally get that. I've been there. So let's just quickly go through those. I want to make these videos really quick for you guys so you can just get these tidbits really fast and really easy. So the first three are all going to be about moving your body. And so I think the three ways in which I do that, in which I move my body to de-stress myself, is through working out, whether that's, sometimes I do kickboxing videos, sometimes, I'll go to the gym and lift weights or things like that, whatever you know that works for you. Other times I like to do yoga or go for a walk, and a lot of times when I'm on the walk, I'll listen to music or listen to a podcast that really helps. So those are the things that I like to do to move my body. Other things you can do is like going for a hike or anything that you like to do, like rock climbing. I don't know. There's a bunch of things to do, really. The next two are going to be about getting a different perspective, because I always try to do that in my life. I always try to get things from a different perspective and try to look at, the other side of things and, just help ease myself in ways. And so the ways I like to do that is, again, listening to a podcast, or I like to read. And so there are a couple types of books that I usually read. It's in the mornings, I'll read books to learn, and, later at night or on the weekends, I'll read books that I guess are like self-help books or memoirs. I really like memoirs, and it's a great way to, get that perspective, because there are tons of people going through the same thing, and it helps knowing that other people are going through this as well. It kind of helps ease your nerves and calms you down a little bit. One of the books that I recommend would probably be Jen Sincero's How to Be a Badass, and great book, by the way. And Rachel Hollis, her Girl Wash Your Face, and she has a couple of other ones. I've only read Girl Wash Your Face, and that is like the best book that I can recommend. It's a memoir, and so she just goes through like all the points in her life when she was at a really low point and what she did to move forward, basically, and how she like kind of got her mind stuck in that, like, things are never going to change for me, this is like the worst time of my life, all this and that. So those are a few books that I recommend. The next part is probably going to be techniques that I do that are a little more about mindfulness. And so those would be meditation and deep breathing. I know a lot of people aren't big on meditation, and I certainly wasn't a few years ago, but meditation has really helped me just be like a more calm and relaxed person, I think. And it was definitely hard at first to get myself to sit still, because I was always one to, constantly think about other things when I was doing something. I could never be present in the moment, and I was always stressed and always anxiety filled about like stupid things going on in my life that I had no control over. And so meditation really helped me just like feel more relaxed and more, I guess, connected to myself. And I've talked about that in my YouTube channel, so feel free to check out those videos on that. But yeah, so those two techniques. Deep breathing also helps whenever you're feeling anxious, just taking a couple breaths to cool down, and that's a super easy thing for kids to do as well. So that would be a good thing for them to include when they're feeling stressed and anxious about things. And then two other ones are about writing and journaling, because I think along my journey, writing was always the number one tool that I used to de-stress myself and kind of just get rid of those negative thoughts. And so keeping a journal that you write in daily is really helpful, especially when, you go back a week later, a month later, or a year later even, and you can look back at everything that was worrying you at that point and just think, wow, those things are not even important anymore. And I can't believe I stressed myself out so much over that small thing. And so along with that, I like to do a stress dump. So I'll set like a 10-minute timer and just write down everything that is stressing me out in that exact moment. And sometimes I'll go back to it, sometimes I won't go back to it because I don't even want to think about it anymore. But in ways it's kind of counterintuitive, because you're just, thinking about all the stressful things and you don't want to think about the stressful things, but it just helps to just let it all out at once and really just like dump it. Sometimes I don't even feel like writing them down, and I'll just sit there and just think about it, and sometimes say them out loud because I do a lot of self-talk. and it really, really helps, like, just get rid of it all. So the next two things kind of go hand in hand, but I want to talk about them separately, and it all has to do with social media and screen time and limiting your exposure to the negativity that you see on your newsfeed, because I know there is a lot of negative things going on in the news, and when you're clouded with it all the time and you're seeing it on your Facebook newsfeed and your Instagram newsfeed and, filling yourselves with those, just even through Instagram, it's like these people that are living the perfect life, or they seem like they have it all together, just limiting that, because those things are unattainable and we all know that. And like keeping yourself consumed with all of these things when you know it's not going to happen for you and it's just not an option right now, it's not something that you should be constantly looking at and constantly comparing yourself to. So limiting your exposure to those negative things. And then the second part to that is increasing the amount of positive things that you'll see on your news feed. So whether that's, deleting a bunch of pages and people that you follow on Facebook that maybe, talk about a lot of negative things, or, not subscribing to news channels that are talking about a lot of negative things. And on Instagram, follow accounts that are filled with positive quotes and body positivity and realistic things that are happening in life. And it really helps you just focus on the positive things that are going on, and also getting a perspective of someone who's going through that same thing and is trying to look at the positive light as well. So I always try to look at the positive side, and that's why my news feed on Instagram is probably just all like motivational quotes and, they're entrepreneurs and things like that. But that's what I try to do. And another part to that is limiting your screen time in general. Like I probably get 30 minutes to an hour of screen time per day, and that really helps not only keep me focused, but just keep me sane. Like decreasing all of that buzz that's going on around the world and just focusing on what you can control and what is in your life right now. So those are my top 10 de-stressing techniques that I use and that have worked for me. And again, not all of these things are going to work for you guys. You really just have to listen to your body and figure out what feels right for you and works for you. And that's what de-stressing yourselves is all about, is finding what works for you. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it, maybe got something out of this. And stay tuned for next week's video. It's going to be on the same time, and that will be all about mental health for kids. So stay tuned for that, and I'm excited to see you guys there.